What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we just want to give a little update, and we just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching, commenting, whoever liked to subscribe. As of right now, our channel has 157 subscribers, so a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed, a big thank you to everyone who has watched our videos, and thank you to everyone who continues to support us.
We really appreciate it a lot. We kind of wanted to make this video to kind of let y'all know why we're even doing this YouTube channel and why we're into ghosts and paranormal and everything. So me growing up, I've always had experiences when I was little all the way up until even now, even outside of us doing investigating. Have you had experiences growing up much?
No, not really. I've only ever heard stories from my parents. The classic tales of stories in the back roads, or seeing the La Chusa flying around, or the story of the La Llorona, or the Bruja. You know, just simple Mexican folk tales like that. But I've never really experienced anything myself.
And it's awesome, like before we started YouTube, before we even thought about getting into YouTube, we were watching a lot of paranormal. We're both into it. Even though I came with experiencing it, he hasn't, and we just really enjoy it so much. But even though we've had experiences, we also want to go around and ask random people if they believe in the paranormal, or if they've even had any experiences themselves.
So here we go. Do y'all believe in the paranormal at all?
Yeah.
My sister do a little bit,
Yeah.
not too much. I gotta kind of see it to believe it.
Yeah, personally, yes. I do. My house is haunted. Her house is haunted.
Do y'all believe in the paranormal?
I do.
I do.
You do?
Have y'all had any experiences or just stories maybe?
Personally, I work at a funeral home.
Oh, really?
At a cemetery too. So I mean, I haven't seen anything, but I'm sure people tell me that they feel stuff or that they've seen things. So
Yeah.
I mean, I believe them.
So you haven't experienced anything before? Have you and your, like you said, your sister, has she experienced anything? Like, do you have stories?
Nah, I don't think she has, but she's always been like a superstitious person, so I think she was always more vulnerable to the situation. But me, I need some type of proof.
Yeah, I feel that.
What experiences have y'all had? Or...
Okay, one time I was sleeping and my door like automatically shuts, like it has a thing,
Uh-huh.
and I woke up, the radio turned off, and the door was open,
Oh,
just
wow.
standing there, and I was like, what the?
Standing there.
That's so cool.
No, it was just weird because like the radio turned off and I looked me up, and then like the door was standing open and it closes by itself.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Have you had any experiences? Or any family members? maybe?
Man, the other night, it happened twice in the same day. Something moved in her closet,
Oh,
and then I didn't think nothing of it because it didn't move all day. Right, then it happened, and then later on that night, I was watching TV like 1 in the morning. My closet rod decided to fall, and all my clothes fell in the middle of the night.
yo.
It was the worst, bro. Like
That's
all I know
kinda-
is I was like, I need to put a cross above my bed because it's just
Yeah.
horrible.
That's
And
pretty
I was
creepy.
talking about it with her and her parents, and I was like, man, I hadn't had anything like that ever happen to me.
Oh man, that's a scary feeling, especially when you're there where you sleep.
Well, no, I was awake, but I looked and
Oh.
I'm just like, did that just really happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm, you know, and I don't want anyone to see. There's like this. We always leave a light on in our living room, and it shines into the bedroom. And I turned away because I was like, man, that's the last thing I needed to see a shadow. You know what I mean? So that was probably pretty much it. I do though. But that was the last thing that's happened to me. It's been years though before something else kind of like. I wasn't sure what that was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have you had any experiences yourself?
When I was little,
When you were little?
Yes.
Do you mind telling us about that?
well, I was at the cemetery with my family, and we were looking at the graves. And I was by myself walking, and then I saw a grave that was like empty. But when I looked, I saw something, you know. And I just ran and I went and I told my mom that there was something in there. The grave wasn't covered at all. It was like open, like it was ready for someone to bury someone in there. But I saw like something like face. I ran, I called my mom, and then when they came, there was nothing in there. So they thought I was crazy, you know, I was making.
Have you had any experiences
I think like at a church.
at a church?
Yeah, I was like in a room and like a bunch of lockers were shut, like a slam.
Oh, really?
I just started running.
So a bunch of lockers would slam, and that's it? Okay, that's cool.
When me and my best friend were at my house or apartment,
we were both getting ready to go, and there's this big mirror, a body mirror, in the corner of our living room. When we're getting ready and putting our shoes, we turn around and we literally see this. It was like a man, a big man in a white shirt and jeans. He was bald, he had no hair, and he was just standing or floating over the mirror. And we both saw it. I was like, "Did you see that?" And she's all, "Yeah, I saw that too." And I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, for two people to see it, it's something crazy. I mean, if you just saw it, I mean, nobody would really believe you. Or
I know, we both like stayed quiet and looked at each other. We're like, "Oh my gosh, we saw that, bro."
Yeah, that's so awesome. Before we end the video, tonight we are going to be going to San Antonio, Texas to investigate the haunted famous railroad tracks. Then we are going to be going to Donkey Lady Bridge. So the story behind the railroad tracks, around the 1930s, 1940s, there was a bus filled with children about 10, 11 years old. They stalled on the tracks and the train couldn't stop in time, so the train ran over the bus and all the children died a horrible death.
So the story goes, if you go there and you park your car and you put it on neutral in the middle of the railroad tracks, the kids will actually come up and try to push you over the railroad tracks so the way the tragedy doesn't happen to you also. So it's kind of sad but also kind of creepy. So, but there has also been a lot of rumors saying that it was just the way that the slope of the street goes down or anything. So I guess that's for us to find out and for us to show y'all about that. But
and then afterwards, we are going to be going to Donkey Lady Bridge. There is a bunch of origin stories. One of the stories was that the lady was living with her husband and her children, and they had a donkey for a pet, or I guess the donkey would help them with their travels wherever they needed to go. So on one night, they don't know if it was the husband or if it was a random stranger, but their house had caught fire and the husband and the children had died, and the donkey lady, or the lady, barely made it out of there alive. But they said that she got burned so bad, her face got so messed up that it resembled a donkey. So that's one of the stories. If you want to find out more about the famous railroad tracks and the Donkey Lady Bridge, check out our 2-part series next week. But we're going to give you a little teaser, so check it out.
One of the well-known spooky attractions in San Antonio is the haunted train tracks.
we are here at the famous railroad tracks where unfortunately a school bus had gotten hit by a train right here in these very tracks. We're right forward. We are, can you maybe tell me a name if you're one of the students?
Isaiah.
No freaking way.